Vernon Bryant, staff photographer Dallas Cowboys defensive end Demarcus Lawrence 90, and Dallas Cowboys outside linebacker Leighton Vander Esch 55, celebrate with Dallas Cowboys defensive end Randy Gregory 94, after he recovered a fumbled ball from Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback Jameis Winston 3, during the second half of play at it. Dallas Cowboys defeated the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 27-20 to capture the NFC East. Vernon Bryant, The Dallas Morning News. On this week's edition of the Ballsy podcast, Kevin Sherrington, Evan Grant, and David Moore discuss Cowboys to Randy Gregory and more. Check out the highlights, edited for clarity. Don't miss an episode. Subscribe to the podcast. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play Music, or through an RSS feed for Android users, and we're available on Stitcher. Tune Randy Gregory new deal and concerns off the field. Sherrington, obviously they like Randy. Obviously he's a very likable guy who is a productive player when he's on the field and apparently a good teammate. I wish him all the best in trying to get things straightened out in his life. More. 2021 The NFL's collective bargaining does come up, and drug testing will be a significant part. With where society is headed, with where the medical consensus is now on a lot of this, yeah? This isn't an issue in the other leagues that it is in the NFL. It's a constant source of consternation for the owners. They keep asking, why are we creating these issues for ourselves that other leagues do not have? This is self-imposed. Why are we doing this? Why are we behind the times of what the medical community says? This will change. And you've already seen it change in Randy Gregory. He's failed 5 tests now since he's been in the league. 5 that have resulted in consequences. That means there have been more. Not too long ago we would have been talking about him not coming back to the league. It would have been absurd to think that the Cowboys would tack a year on. But the fact that they did restructure his deal, gave them a little more money up front and added a year. It's a way to give him some money now, and while they have no control over this, it's certainly a strong indication that their beliefs is that he'll be available for the 2019 season at some point. That this slip was minor enough that he has been conscientious enough in his program, and he's hit so many of the obligations that he has under this program, that they feel he's genuinely and sincerely working toward his sobriety. Grant, there are a lot of people who will view this as an addiction. But I think where we are in a society and what we've made available to people both recreational and for medical purposes, yeah, our morals are changing. No wide receiver is as good as Amari Cooper in this year's draft, and why the Cowboys made the right move in trading for him. More. Amari Cooper would be the first receiver to go in the bunch. Sherrington, yes he would. And he was the 4th pick of the draft that he came out in. More. There may be 1, maybe 2, wide receivers that go in the first round. Sherrington, I think it's interesting for everybody who was panicking about that move, saying it was too much to give up for Cooper. If they had not traded for Amari Cooper, first of all they wouldn't have made the playoffs, I don't think. More. They would have had a different coach now here, too. I think you would have seen a lot of changes. Sherrington, you still would have needed a wide receiver in this draft, and you wouldn't have got a guy as good as Amari Cooper. More. They said they had studied it and they did not feel that there was a receiver in the first or maybe upper half of the second round that they felt good about. They felt that it was such a wide receiver desert at the top that it made no sense to wait for the draft. You were actually going to have to wait another year if you had to pick one up in the draft, and again, Cooper at the age 24 was really beneficial to them.